Hi, my name is Luke Cunningham, and I want to talk to y'all today about female historian and American Revolution propagandist Mercy Otis Warren. For the purposes of convenience, we'll be doing this talk in my classroom, so let me welcome you to Appomattox County High School. Mercy Otis Warren was an extremely influential Revolutionary War character. Her role during the American Revolution would have been characterized as a playwright and a propagandist. She was extremely skilled in her ability to write literary works that would inspire and often bring together public sentiment against the British government. That was the role that made her famous during the Revolution, though her contributions to American history go far beyond that. She's known as the first female historian to write a United States history. She has also been inducted into the Women's Hall of Fame in 2002. Now, speaking to the significance of Mercy Otis Warren, I want to first talk about her gift. In Romans 12, 6-8, it says, "In His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take responsibility seriously. And if you have the gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly." Without a doubt, Mercy Otis Warren's God-given gift was her literary genius. She was not a typical Revolutionary era woman. Though she received no formal education in Barnstable, Massachusetts, Mercy often sat in with her brother, James Otis Jr., on his tutor lessons. And though the lessons weren't for her, she was clearly paying attention as she became a literary genius that was rivaled by few, if any, during the American Revolutionary era. Her brother James, interestingly enough, was also a Revolutionary War character and is widely credited with the phrase "no taxation without representation." They unite together to become quite the anti-British family, as it seems. Mercy would be married to James Warren, also a political leader, and served as the paymaster of George Washington's army. For Mercy's role during the American Revolution, she carried on a pretty significant correspondence with a lot of the Revolutionary War heroes. Within these correspondence, these war heroes and war characters would have confided in Mercy, but more importantly, they would have asked for advice in a lot of cases. Some of these heroes would have included John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, Henry Knox, Samuel Adams, Abigail Adams, Martha Washington, and John Hancock. John Adams in particular was influential on Mercy Otis Warren's role within the American Revolution in encouraging her to publish some of her works for public consumption. He would have had this to say to Mercy's husband James in this encouragement. He said, "Tell your wife that God Almighty has entrusted her with the powers for the good of the world, which in this cause of His providence He bestows on few of the human race. Then instead of being at fault to use them, it would be criminal to neglect them." What John Adams was hoping to do was inspire her. Mercy was often seen as somebody that was a little hesitant to publish her unfiltered thoughts. She was worried that they would inspire too much violence, and that might not be the role of a woman within society. And thank goodness for us that she fought through that hesitancy and published works like The Adulterer, The Defeat, The Group, The Blockheads, and The Motley Assembly. The first two in particular, The Adulterer and The Defeat, were propaganda works largely aimed at Thomas Hutchinson, the Massachusetts governor. These works were highly influential in his removal from that office. Post-Revolutionary War, she did not sit by idly. She got to work on a very comprehensive 3-volume history of the young United States. It was called The History of the Rise, Progress, and Termination of the American Revolution. Thomas Jefferson, in particular, the president at the time of its publication in 1805, was extremely interested in this work. He not only purchased a copy for himself, he purchased a copy for many of his cabinets, and had this to say: the anticipation of her truthful account of the last 30 years that will furnish a more instructive lesson to mankind than any equal period known in history. This publication of this 3-volume work was also known to be the cause of the rift between Mercy Otis Warren and John Adams, as she was very critical of John Adams and his presidential leadership. Mercy Otis Warren was an unbelievable example of why women always deserved and needed a platform for their works and their God-given gifts to be expressed, and needed simply the opportunity to play those active roles. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope that y'all learned a little bit about Mercy Otis Warren. I highly encourage y'all to go and read some of her works, as they are just as inspiring today as they were during the American Revolution. All right, thank y'all.